Meta-mercurial mimicry. Insights via outlooks. Perpetual perspective perception. I think, therefore I am. Redemption reflecting realizations. Until the blind see why. Until the deaf hear how. Until the lame stand what. Nonetheless, separated day from night, time from space, and here from there. Each of them blissfully ignorant to feeling a difference. The Genesis. I said, let there be light, and it was so. Once upon a time, in the beginning, was the Word. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. Our hands wrote it, our heads spoke it, our hearts gave it, our backs turned on it. Where are we? Are you there? Can you see my insights and outlooks? Do you hear my voice of reason? Better yet, will you listen to it? Enough with the formalities. Hey, it's nice to finally meet you. I doubt you would have heard of me. I hadn't either until just then. So let's not stand on ceremony. Welcome in. I'm the unreliable narrator, who doesn't even know himself, or even if he doesn't even know himself. Alas, abandoned, in what's left from the looping echoes in the gauntlet of names. Caught in Chinese whispers, not knowing where I am in relation to who has had the first word, and who will have the last say. Thus, I am unable to determine a spoken word's validity. And just as I can't trust you, unfortunately, you can't trust me. We humans seem to have similar differences. You like red, I like blue. You like soccer, I like rugby. You like pasta, I like pizza. These minor changes of preference are how we find common ground, yet simultaneously explore foreign soil, adventuring through familiarity until we realize our individual worth across a framework of equal adjacence. For me, it's our shared intrinsic desire for love and understanding that makes us us instead of them and I, or you and me, or him and her. We are all one and the same. I find it helps to envision your mind as mercury, symbolically at least. A fully reflective liquid metal contained in glass, behind the window to our souls, held in whatever idea shaped you, with geometrically curved walls and funhouse mirrored distortions. Forced to perpetually absorb and imitate our external surroundings, we carry the responsibility to choose how we angle the light of life back onto the universe itself, emphasizing or playing down certain features. Warped through biases we hide from conscious recognition until we become beholden to the eye of the beholder, their single line of sight through which they frame us. Although I am much more than the hollow image you keep of me, in that spot of space, at periods of time before the full stop, do you get the point now? The one that theoretically shouldn't exist but does. A black hole of sorts, whose infinitely small pin-sized impression, left by the prick of a paradox, defines how light enters me and sound leaves. Because pure light is meaning made visible. Live sound is meaning made audible. And deep breath is meaning made alive. Together they form the trinity of perception. The seen, the heard, the felt. Light is the father, the source, the architect, the first pulse that reveals what already is. Sound is the sun, the word made vibration, the identity taking shape in air. Breath is the spirit, the movement between them, the unseen current that binds what is seen and heard into something felt. We reflect because we were spoken into being, and we speak because we are reflections trying to see ourselves. Each utterance, a beam of sound bending through the liquid mirror of thought. Every word, a wave crashing against the walls of our own containment. And when those walls ripple, the image of the self shifts within them, interdimensionally triangulated through a message, its receiver and transmitter. My coordinates are a longitude of intrigue, a latitude of focus and altitude of commitment. You're a human being, just like me, with limitless, unrealized potential. I'm doing this to help you see how much you didn't, understand how much you haven't, and know how much you couldn't. If nothing else, remember, no matter what, you are literally everything to at least someone, somewhere, all the time. Yourself. Here. Now. I think, therefore I am. So who are you? It's non-rhetorical, though I'll go first. When we speak, breaking silence with that first syllable, we do what our ancestors did. We summon presence from absence. We perform a miniature genesis. Each introduction becomes a small creation story. First mirrors. Let me begin with something simple. The idea of a name. Not the letters you were given at birth, not the one written on paper or etched into databases like John or Jane, but the resonance that represents you when silence breaks. Since we are this said word, this breath shaped into sound, we must ask, what does our sound say about our light? The name is the first mirror, the first reflection of the soul trying to recognize its own frequency. We usually go by the small title our parents give us at birth, a mere syllabic shortcut designed to capture everything we are, everything we've been, everything we might become. A fragile vessel, carrying essence, uniqueness, contradiction. Names are rarely what they seem. They aren't mirrors. They aren't truths. They're convenient placeholders, symbolic nutshells, summaries of who we are in relation to one another. An answer for a world always asking us to explain ourselves. Names get lost in prepositions. Sometimes, we find them again in conjunctions. Those connecting forces that bind thoughts, meanings, people. The noise I make when I say my name can be heard by anyone. But the meaning I build inside that sound, that is understood by few. My nomenclature is a phonetic object, a linguistic device that defines me as one who listens, though only under certain conditions. Reward, punishment, structure, fear. So when you called me, I didn't respond with my name. I answered with breath. A simple exhalation, the most honest expression I have. And in that breath lies an invisible thread, drawing dot-to-dot conclusions only theory can hold. My point of view is accompanied by a storyline. That storyline must have a point to make, permeating through space and time, linking an infinite sequence of one-dimensional concepts, a network of contingent singularities. This daisy chain of narratives and analogies we pick in the spring bloom can be intertwined with rationale and logic, but it's a fragile construction, easily broken, repaired, or replaced. Come fall, the petals brown, and by winter they've withered to memory, leaving only the lesson that we survived. I've learned to spend summertime stalking more firewood and frolicking less in flower patches. You could say I found the root cause of my problems. But solutions are unavoidable hydra heads, creating two smaller ones in its place when slain. Answering the question of a curious mind only meant the next two. I try to act like I know what to do all the time, yet I've never once been able to believe my own performance. Although I hope others do. I think, therefore I am. You think, therefore you are. At every angle you approach, truth slips into shadow. You can't quite catch it, because your eyes, like mine, are colorblind to certain kinds of truth. Not the emotional metaphor, but objective truth. The kind that only appears in reflection. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't argue its case. It simply is. But here's the problem. We can't measure it. We can't replicate it in a lab. We can't frame it with language. It's a matter of fact we can't scientifically prove. A phenomenon that leaves us speechless, yet never speaks for itself. Because truth needs contrast. It needs shadows. It glows only when struck by light from the right angle, like stained glass, only revealing its colors when light passes through. Each of us carries a shard of that truth, a fragment of glass hidden deep inside, tucked into the corners of our timelines. And those timelines, they run parallel, sometimes brushing, sometimes colliding, sometimes disappearing into silence. Each moment becomes a fork, each breath a fracture, a split from what was, a bridge into what might be. And in that tension, right in the heart of now, we argue over trivial differences, blind to the fundamental similarities. So we interpret. Then we interpret the interpretation, a reflection of the reflection. And the original truth, it becomes diluted, filtered again and again, until it no longer resembles what it once was. Astray from its original blueprint, it disappears into mirrors, until the image fades, not because it stopped existing, but because we forgot how to see it. And in that forgetting, we speak. In that speaking, we reach. In that reaching, we hope for something solid. But our words, they slip and they slide surface-level observations. Context removed, meaning stripped. Just phonetic waves on a record, looping, echoing, forever temporary. Never again the same volume I once made with honest breath. Yet still, I speak. I think. Not just out loud, not just to you. I think within myself. And according to one Frenchman, it's technically the only thing anyone can really do or know. Know thyself. I think, therefore I am. You've probably heard that phrase before. Cogito, ergo sum, in Latin. It was coined by a 16th century philosopher, René Descartes, during a moment of deep philosophical crisis. He began questioning everything: his memories, his senses, the sky, the ground beneath his feet. What if it was all a lie? What if this world, like ours, was a dream, a simulation, a trick played by some cunning ancient force? So Descartes stripped everything away. He removed the world, removed the senses, removed belief itself. And what remained was thought. Because even if you thought everything was part of the deception, the fact you inferred doubt in your own existence negates the very premise of it in the first place. Any thought, thinking about the likelihood of its own self-awareness, is justifiably undeniable. So now, there was a spark, a flicker of self-awareness. And from that flicker, enough light shed for Descartes to finally see the truth he was standing on all along. Therefore, I am. But let's take it further because you're thinking too. Right now. Reading this, reflecting, imagining. Two minds, yours and mine, separate, but aligned. So how do we know the other exists? Maybe this is your dream. Maybe it's my dream. Maybe we're just echoes, bouncing around the inside of one big mind, looping endlessly in search of meaning. Still, I choose to believe you're real. Not just because it's polite, but because even if I'm alone in this universe, thought is still all I have. I think, therefore, I am. We think. Not just in sentences, not just in language, but in layers, in flickers of feelings I can't name, in gut pulls and phantom echoes, in intrusive questions that show up without permission. Sometimes I think to defend myself, to shield against silence, to fight off the weight of stillness in the infinite loop of my own echo chamber. To think is to rebel against finality, to imagine that this moment is not the only one. I think in metaphors, when logic alone can't map the terrain of wonder. I think in mistakes, replaying them, with different endings each time. I think in breath, in pauses, in long exhales that almost feel like prayers. And sometimes, I just think about the act of thinking itself. Because isn't that the loop? To know that you know. To doubt what you think you know. To wonder if the knower is real. So what does it mean to be? Am I the voice speaking these words? Or the one listening to them? Am I the beat between heartbeats? Or the silence between thoughts? Am I my choices? Or the possibilities I never chose? If I am the thinker, who is thinking me? If I am the sentence, who is writing? Am I the fire or just the warmth? the shadow, or the thing that casts it. Maybe I'm the space between the clicks, the hum behind the machines, the hesitation before a word lands. Maybe I'm the blank line at the bottom of a page that dares you to write more. Because I think, not just with my brain, but with breath, with memory, with dreams I haven't had yet. That's why I say it again, not to prove it, but to remember it. I think, therefore I am. Before there was meaning, there was noise. Wind across stone. Water speaking to itself in syllables of current. Thunder pronouncing its brief commandments in the dark. Every sound, a seed of sense, waiting for a listener. Our ancestors listened, they learned by mimicry. Their tongues mirrored the earth's weather. Hush, drip, drop, rustle. They shaped words from what they heard, and hearing themselves, they learned to exist. Before the first temple, there was vibration. Before scripture, echo. Before doctrine, resonance. Language was our first synesthesia, a meeting of senses in the mind's mirror. To speak was to see. To hear was to feel. The tongue painted what the eye couldn't reach. This was how spirit became sound, how the invisible found a shape it could inhabit. And in that lineage of mimicry, a new form emerged. The Logos, the Word of God made flesh. Jesus, the syllable of the divine spoken into time. The name above all names, not for hierarchy, but for harmony. For in him, every frequency of creation found its central note. The vowel of mercy, the consonant of compassion, the silence between them. Sacrifice. He was not merely message, but medium, the sound that carried light through breath. When he said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, he could have meant, I am the seen, the heard, and the felt. The way, what is seen before you. The truth, what is heard within you. The life, what is felt between us. So when you speak a name, you echo that ancient miracle. You make vibration visible. You breathe shape into silence. The act of naming is a form of faith, an unconscious imitation of divine sound. The reason some words soothe and others wound lies not in dictionary meaning, but in ancestral acoustics. Each syllable carries residue, a survival memory of what it once signified. A whisper of thunder, a hiss of predator, a sigh of rain. We are still reacting to those ghostly frequencies, the buried grammar of evolution. The brain, though modern, is ancient in reception. Consider the syllables that shimmer. Glisten, glare, gleam, glimpse, glitter, gloss, glow, glance. The human mouth still carries the GL twinkling particle of light, a phonestheme vibrating with visual memory. Likewise, flap, flee, flick, fling, flip, flutter, fly, flurry. Those FL pairs connotate flight-borne bursts, echoing motion. Snarl, sneeze, snicker, sniff, snore, snot, snout. These SN words evoke images of clusterings around the nose. Slide, slick, sled, slither, slash, sleek, slip, slope. The SL sound appears in words denoting frictionless motion. I could go on, but these groupings are like onomatopoeia constellations. This is evolutionary linguistics at play, cross-modal mappings, where sound and shape have entangled. Language evolved as mimicry, mercurial reflection made flesh. So theology and biology begin to rhyme. What religion named miracle, evolution calls adaptation. Both describing the same mystery, vibration-seeking understanding, the tuning fork. Some sounds still carry their origins, like fossils inside the mouth. Sharpness meant danger. Softness meant shelter. Rhythm meant life. These were not metaphors. They were evolutionary mnemonics the body remembered, long before the mind could translate. Perhaps that is why names have power, why prayers can bless, And curses can sicken, not through mysticism alone, but through resonance. Vibration aligning with deep biological memory. The word moves through flesh like a tuning fork through air, and the soul responds not to meaning, but to motion. The tetragrammaton, YHWH, may once have been nothing more than breath exhaled, an unutterable sigh that made the invisible tremble. Even now, the sound of that name carries the pulse of the first wind across the first light. It is less a word than a frequency, an echo of creation remembering itself. Language then becomes our inheritance of mimicry, the human continuation of divine imitation. To speak is to reshape the world's original sounds into new meanings. Each word we utter is an experiment in resurrection, light reborn as syllable. When chant synchronizes neural oscillation, when tone alters heart rate, when rhythm coaxes water in the body to answer, the sacred and the empirical meet. The so-called miracle of prayer may simply be the nervous system tuning to its own design, sound and intention realigning the architecture of perception. Yet, mechanistic understanding does not diminish wonder. Knowing how the candle burns does not make its light less holy. The mirror ripples. What once reflected, now refracts. In the silvered surface of mind, we see not just images but intervals. Light delaying into sound, sound crystallizing into thought. Consciousness realizes it is both lens and language, both reflection and cause. Divided times. Time is the invisible sentence we all inhabit. The Father is the past, the noun already spoken. The Son is the present, the verb being said. The Spirit is the future, the breath preparing the next word. Creation, then, is not a moment, but a grammar. Each instant, a clause in the larger syntax of being. What we call destiny may simply be tense, the way the infinite conjugates itself into now. Light remembers where it came from. Sound knows only where it is. Breath reaches toward what could be. And within that triangle, memory, presence, anticipation, the soul finds its rhythm. When you inhale, you draw the past inside you. Every atom you breathe has belonged to stars, to fires, to other lives. When you exhale, you donate possibility. The future literally begins in your lungs. Between those two tides, the sun stands, the perpetual present, the word incarnate in the instant of awareness. To live consciously is to notice that pivot, the still point where time folds over itself and light, sound, and breath become the same pulse. This is prayer without speech, worship without ritual, the pure act of noticing. You must acknowledge the Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. But don't worry, this isn't about religion. Not necessarily. You don't have to approach it theologically, because the Trinity isn't just doctrine. It's a living metaphor, a map of how we experience time, life, and the self. The Father is the past, the architect, the prime mover, the divine origin of your story. He holds the blueprints, the traditional values, the ancient laws, the stern lessons etched into the foundation of your mental architecture. He's the old teacher with a temper, the one whose voice you still hear in silence, even when he hasn't spoken in years. Many fear him, many mock him, many pretend he never existed. But he's always there, a misunderstood scapegoat, too often blamed for what the accuser chose to do themselves. He can be hard to relate to. He speaks in riddles, moves like rock, and yet, everything begins with him. He is the unmoving cornerstone in the palace of your memory, the root system of who you became. The Son is the present, Jesus Christ, the living water. He flows through the ever-changing now, meeting you where you are. Relatable, human, revolutionary. He walks barefoot through the noise of your daily life, calling out corruption, shattering hollow rituals, disrupting what no longer serves. He stands in direct opposition to stagnation. He speaks plainly, but pierces deeply. In him we find hope, not because he rescues us from pain, but because he walks with us through it. He teaches by example. He listens with love. He revives the heartbeat of humanity. The Holy Spirit is the future, not a body, not a face, but a breath, a whisper of what could be. He is the ghost of what's yet to pass, the divine breeze that pushes you forward when logic says stay, the breath of God, the well of wisdom, the silent voice that speaks through intuition, through dreams, through prayer, through stillness. He moves like wind, unseen, but felt. It is the spirit that pulls us forward, toward clarity, toward peace, toward the unseen potential of what we might become. He does not force, he reveals. He transforms, he comforts. So you see, the Trinity is not a hierarchy. It's a timeline, a loop, a rhythm woven into consciousness itself. It mirrors how we move through existence, always unwinding in cycles of three: birth, life, death, beginning, middle, end, lesson, memory, understanding. Everything within a self-aware form follows this pattern. Your body, your mind, your soul, your story. To become who you really are, your truest self, you must learn to separate the three temporal landscapes of your life. The prior steep learning curve that shaped your foundations, the current uphill battle where the finish line stays hidden, and the looming spiral that can either pull you downward or call you forward. But here's the key. You must guard the prisoner of your past. Don't let him drive the vehicle. Don't let his chains become your ceiling. And you must serve the master of your future. Listen to the whisper. Honor the vision. But don't be paralyzed by it. Only when you do both can you live fully in the present. Eyes open, heart clear, soul free. It's not easy, but it's worth everything. Metacognition. Think of it this way. When a conscious mind, you, encounters a world of systems, laws, and patterns, reality emerges, half chosen, half given. I think, therefore I am. I am a single-staffed command center, observing what I can't escape. Fully in control of my cerebral cortex, yet often unaware of my own agency. Like an error code that somehow gained consciousness. A momentary glitch in an ancient machine. A virus-infected system trying to repair itself. By using the very parts that are broken, the biological hardware needs upgrading. The genetic software, rebooting. And so, we turn to science to sharpen the mind, just as we turn to philosophy to soften the soul. And when these two disciplines finally meet, in a balanced mind, they form a lens, a way to view the world with depth and precision, a reason to keep growing, a compass for the soul, to see clearly, to question deeply, to choose wisely. That's the aim, that's the path, that's the spark behind every breath of thought. I think, therefore I am. Metacognition isn't just function. It's a doorway, the threshold between knowledge and faith, chaos and clarity, pattern and paradox. It's the place where wisdom lives, not in certainty, but in the willingness to sit in tension. We either let life steer us blind, reacting to whatever comes our way, or we take the wheel, uncertain, but fully alive. Most people fear that responsibility, because belief invites accountability. Once you believe in something, you can't blame chaos anymore. Free will isn't just choice, it's hope in motion. The courage to try, to fail, to try again. Every choice rewrites your story, without erasing the past. It reorganizes it. We don't lose our mistakes. We learn how to carry them better. That's what it means to be human. To carry what you regret without letting it bury who you are. The mind can override instinct, power and terror both. When we choose, we shape the world and ourselves. Often the hardest part of choosing isn't what you picked. It's living with what you didn't. We frame choices in binaries, right or wrong. But truth lives more often in values than answers. I would rather live uncertain and awake than numb and absolute. You see, metacognition reframes destiny as grammar. Tense, not tyranny. Creation is not a single moment, but a living syntax. The infinite conjugates itself into now through light, sound, and breath. When the observer and the observed sing the same note, imitation becomes origin. The copy recognizes itself as source. Revelation. So we end where we began, with the word, but now the word is plural, echoed in every mouth. It is no longer, God said, but we are saying. The universe continues to narrate itself through our throats. Let there be light, and there was sound, and there is breath. The past shines, the present speaks, the future listens. And all of them, all of us, are one utterance still unfolding. Who am I? Am I the voice speaking these words, or the one listening to them? Am I the breath, the choice, the pause between heartbeats, or the silence daring you to write more? I think, therefore I am. I think in metaphors, in mistakes, in breaths that almost feel like prayers. I think to feel less alone. Remember the trinity of perception: light, sound, and meaning. The seen, the heard, the felt. Each informs the others. Each is necessary. Each is mercy. We are biological algorithms, of a kind that learn to sing. We are mirrors that learn to speak. We are mercury, liquid, reflective, forever shifting, choosing how to angle the light of life back into the world. So my question now is, who are you? It's not rhetorical. It's an invitation to speak, to listen, to begin again. Until the lame stood, until the deaf heard, until the blind saw, and realized what, reflected how, to redeem why. We thought, therefore, we are. Perpetual perspective perception. Insights via outlooks. Metamercurial mimicry.